Hey everybody, today's subject, bullying. So it's a pretty talked about subject lately. There's everybody and everybody has a different point of view. I wanted to share my ideas on it, especially because the subject came up and we were discussing it quite in depth today with my kids. I was driving over to Urban Pizza to get dinner with the kiddos. Now, for the record, I did not eat any pizza. I'm on my fourth day of the keto diet, and we're so far. I like the results. I like what I'm experiencing. I have a lot of energy, and have good focus. And I'm losing a little bit of weight while I'm at it, so I enjoy it. That's going to be another subject entirely for another video. But on the way over there, we were discussing how we're thinking about taking their kids to changing them schools. So the current school that they're in is a Christian private school, which is a very good school. We're very happy with it for the most part. I honestly haven't seen that big of a difference in terms of academics or anything that you could say, wow, mind-blowing difference, you know? But the kids like it. They have developed some really nice relationships, great friendships, and things like that. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted them to go there. However, there's a lot of things going on with the school that they're changing. The principal left, and he's opening up another school, and a lot of the teachers are going with him, and a lot of the students are going. So the whole thing is kind of a turmoil right now. And I don't want to be a part of it. So we're thinking, okay, so we take them to another private school? Should we move them here? Then it's further. What should we do? Then we said, you know what, let's just go for another year and just take it from there, maybe to public school, which is great. You know that we live in a great neighborhood with great public schools, some of the best in all of California, actually. So we're like, you know what, whatever, let's just go that route. Plus, it's good for the sports for the kids. They have a lot better sports programs for wrestling and for football and things like that can actually help them in the future for good scholarships. So we decided to go that route, and we were discussing it with the kids, and my middle son, Sebastian, says, hey, Dad, you know what? Is it the school that we're talking about me possibly going to, the one with the pink walls? And I don't know what he's talking about, but I said, I guess, maybe. I mean, why? And he says, well, I've heard that at that school there's a lot of bullying, and I don't know about that. You know, I don't want to be a part of it. And I'm like, holy crap, you know, that scared the bejesus out of me. Not the fact that there might be bullying at the school that he might go to, but that he's worried about it. That's telling me that, you know what, he might not know how to deal with this stuff, and that's not good. Because I've always taught my kids to be tough, to be very resilient, and to be, how could I put this? Know how to defend themselves, stand up for themselves, never to be pushovers. So for him to say that, I'm like, ooh, that's not good. So we immediately started talking about, both Mom and I started talking about all the different things and giving them ideas and concepts of it, and sharing stories with them. So I'm going to share a couple of stories that we talked to them about, because the reality of it is that bullying is always going to exist. It has always existed, and it will never stop to exist. It's in just human nature that kids and adults will do bad things and will insult people and will try to bring people down in order for them to feel better about themselves. That's the reality. And it's not something that people are going to say, oh, that's it, it's over, here's a vaccine for it, no more bullying. It's not going to happen. So why not teach our kids how to deal with bullying and how to know how to protect themselves, defend themselves, and not allow it to happen to them in the first place. You know the saying in Spanish, el valiente es fuerte hasta que el cobarde quiere. The brave one is strong until the fearful one allows him to. Once the people that have fear of this stuff step up to the plate and say, that's it, those people that actually have very low self-esteem, bullies, are the ones they stop. It happened to me growing up. I was in 5th grade. I was always on the heavy side. I mean, I was pretty chubby. They called me Fat Boy. That was my 4th grade. This happened in 4th grade. Lived in Granada Hills over in the San Fernando Valley area. Anyways, they would call me Fat Boy. And they would pick me last for the teams if they picked me. And they drove me crazy. And there was 2 kids. One of them named Bobby. The other one named Michael. I mean, I still remember these 2 brats because they drove me insane, right? They would always call me Fat Boy and Fat Kid and blah, blah, blah. And man, it made me feel like shit. I mean, it made me feel horrible. And I didn't really know what to deal with it. And I was terrified about telling my parents about this. Come on in if you want. Here's Andy. Say hi. We're
Hello.
recording a video about bullying, about our discussion about bullying.
Oh, yeah, that's discussion.
Yeah. So, anyway, so these guys drove me insane. Like I said, they wouldn't pick me for the teams or whatever. One day, I was playing tetherball, and this kid, Bobby, starts harassing me and starts bugging me. And I kind of had enough. And I was just, and I remember seeing the ball. I pictured that tether ball. I'm sure you're familiar with the yellow tether balls. They're pretty solid. And I remember seeing his face splattered on this tether ball. And I just tossed it. Whoop. And just for my good fortune, it hit him right smack in the face. And I'm not advocating violence or go out and beat the crap out of kids or whatever. No. But it was my way at the time of dealing with it. And it taught me a valuable lesson because I hit this kid and he came at me and he started trying to hit me. But I defended myself. I was like, oh, shoot, you know. And I started defending myself. Next thing you know, he's on the ground and I'm hitting him. And I got in trouble for it, you know. But guess what? Never again did Mikey or Bobby ever bug me again. Never. It stopped. Huge lesson for me. Did I ever allow anybody in my life ever to push me or to call me a name or to insult me?
No.
Never. Somebody's hearing me I think it's Paquito. Never. It taught me the lesson that I needed to stop them on the spot. So for me, to be able to transfer those lessons to my kids and be able to teach them, no, you have to stop. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm telling them to kick their ass or to go, no. But there's other ways of resolving it. You simply say, no, I'm not going to take it. Or the one that I learned, which is my absolute favorite way to deal with it, is to not give a crap. Totally ignore these people and just go along with it and yeah, sure, and just go away, right? Bullying exists not only as a child, not only in elementary school, middle school, high school. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. The worst bullying I've ever seen is, and almost experienced, but I was able to just put a halt to it right away, was in the workforce when I went to sell cars. I mean, these people would get into fistfights over a $150 commission. So it was brutal. And I was there for 13 years, so I can go on and on and on about stories. But there's one particular case that comes to mind, and I'm not going to say names. I'm just going to give them the letter, right? So there's a sales guy. His name was H. And H was this maybe 37, 40-year-old dude, sold cars, nice guy. And there was this manager named L. L was short, and he loved putting people down. And he was one of the top managers, and he made a lot of money, and he was a good producer. He was very sharp. He literally would throw things at you. Like, he would throw staplers at you. He would throw the notepads. Like, you'd walk in with a notepad with paperwork, and he didn't like what you wrote or what the offer was for the client, and he'd get pissed off, and he'd go, whack, and just toss it right smack in your face. So salespeople would literally run out of his office. So one day he started yelling at me and starts going crazy. And I'm new. I was like 20 years old. I was 19 or 20 years old when I started there. And he's going crazy. And he told me, if you don't do X with this client, if you don't get them to sign this contract at that price, you're fired. Right? So I'm thinking, shoot, put a lot of pressure on me. And I'm not one to back down. So I went out there. I'm like trying my best, and trying to do whatever I could to convince these clients to sign that paperwork and buy this stupid car. And I wasn't able to. I lost the deal. They walked out. So I just sat there thinking, man, I'm fired. Lost my job, right? That's what he said. So I walk in there and I say, you know what? Here's my keys. Thank you so much. I'm out. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm fired, right? I wasn't able to close the deal. They left. He's all, I never said that. I'm like, what do you mean you never said that? I'm gone. And I want to leave. And he's all, nope, you're not going anywhere. I never said that. You're crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not crazy, right? They just do it just to push your buttons. So anyways, going back to the H story. So this dude H would literally cry when this guy would yell at him. 37-year-old man would go outside crying. And I would walk into the office after this guy had yelled at him, making him cry, and I'd see him laughing. Like, he would crack up. He's like, ah! With the other manager, just sitting there laughing their butts off over this dude that was just going crazy and so stressed out of his mind. I mean, my kids, when I told them the story, I'm like, well, can't he sue them for harassment or for this and that? Yeah, but it's not that easy. A lot of times that alone gets so, people become so fearful about losing their jobs. And then I told them that, and they're like, well, there's a bunch of witnesses. How could he lose? Not a lot of witnesses, because a lot of people aren't willing to say, yes, I saw it happen, because what if they lose their job over it, right? So there's a lot of things that go through people's mind that let them become victims. And the last thing you want is for your children to be victims. So anyways, I started discussing with them how, it's about the relationships you make, the people that you surround yourself with. There's the other saying, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. So if you hang out with the right people and the right, there's no reason for you to be in those situations. Now, if you get into situations where the bully comes at you, and they will, and they start attacking you or harassing you or trying to make you do something, what is the solution? How would you solve the bullying problem? And I'd love for you guys to post some comments and some ideas of what you think this could go to. But my personal opinion is, number one, ignore. I love ignoring people when they start talking garbage. I really don't care. I could not, because that's the wrong saying. When people say I could care less, well, that means they are caring. I could not care less about what people say. I really don't give a rat's ass. And everybody that knows me personally and has known me for a long time know that I really don't care. So when you don't care what they're telling you and the insults and and whatever it is that they're trying to do to put you down, they stop. You take away all their power by not caring. Because when you care and you go cry like Mr. H and you go get all frustrated about it, that's when they feel so good and they laugh about it and they like, ooh, because it makes them feel stronger and better about themselves. But the reality of it is, when you take it away because you don't care, problem solved. That simple. A lot of times it's easier said than done. So there's other ways that you can go about it. Talk to your friends, talk to people about it, avoid them. But the best solution is to just stand up for yourself. Just go up to them and say, you know what? I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate this because of this and this and this. And it takes a level of maturity and a level of guts to be able to do this and confront somebody face to face. And just know that they might try to punch you when they feel they're losing control. Know and understand that they might attack you even physically when they feel that they're losing that power over you. But we're willing to roll with the punches, literally, and just stand up for yourself and do not ever let yourself be pushed or bullied, right? Will you ever let yourself be pushed or bullied? Absolutely not, right? It's my son, Andy. I know for a fact he's never going to be bullied. Tough little dude, and he's tiny. But I've seen him literally defending his older brothers. He's a good kid. Anyways, let me know if you share my beliefs, if you believe that I'm right, if you think that I'm wrong. I'd love to have a chat with you about it, maybe change somebody's mind over here. And it's not about changing anybody's mind. You do whatever you want to. We'll all do our thing the whatever way we want to. But these are my personal thoughts on the subject. I think it's important for our children to understand that throughout life, people will treat you bad. Disrespect. Isn't that a song? Yeah, that's Will Smith. Throughout life, people will treat you bad, disrespect you, something like that. Great song, by the way. Just the Two of Us by Will Smith. Play it. Anyways, I hope you, in fact, I'll just clip it in here somehow. Hope you guys enjoy the video and my thoughts. Let me know what you think. This is the Pancho Show Parenthood Edition, talking about bullying. Have a good night.